Okay, folks, another useful video here is everybody's got these farm tools and you notice that they're not attached to anything. And I've come up with a system that works for these that have the tube style. And what we're going to use, so I went to the hardware store last night, is 1/2 by 48 inches. To be honest, a little bit longer than 48 would be nice, but these were like $20 a piece. And I hate the fact how inflation's just gone through the roof. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this cap off, and I'm going to use my anvil, which I got all sorts of crap stuck on it right now. But I'm going to use that anvil to kind of crush this down over this. And I'm going to drill a hole like right about here so I could penetrate with a weld, and then I'm going to weld all around it right here and make this a permanent fixture to this. And I'll do the same with the hoe. That way I can make these useful again. I was amazed when I got to looking at how many of these tools we have laying around. They have broken handles and stuff. And right now, let me stop this video and I'll go grab a shovel and I'll show you a tip on that other one. Okay, a tip on your shovels. You noticed you always have a broken handle. A couple of tips on these shovels is try to keep them out of the weather. That way these handles don't rot. Normally they're made of a hardwood. But another problem I found that once you replace, like getting these out, you'll want to cut it off there and then start taking a drill and going up inside here and using that drill to get in as deep as you can to get all of that wood out. And then I take a like a punch or something, and I put it right there, and I'll take a hammer and I'll knock that middle piece out. Now once you get another handle to put inside here, hit it with the end of the hammer, ram it down in here as far as possible. And you can see there's a screw that goes from side to side. And I normally run a nut and bolt through there and kind of squish it. But I notice that they still are wonky. And so my advice is to put a couple of tack welds. See how this is split? Once you get that in there as tight as possible, tack weld it a couple times. And that makes sure it doesn't walk around. You know, you can see this one's been used in asphalt, and I literally have dozens of these things around that need fixed, and all the time breaking them, all the time working on them. But that's a tip for shovels. Let me get back to the hoe and rake. Okay. I slid this in, put it on the anvil right there, and started wailing on it with a 2-pound hammer. Now another thing, that this is galvanized, so it's not going to rust. I thought that the iron pipe, the black pipe, was cheaper, and I was wrong. This is cheaper. This is a steel pipe with galvanized coating on it. So I started wailing on this and squishing it down right here, and I'm like, man, that's in there tight and good. So I'm going to weld around that edge down there, and I might ought to go on this side. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get on this side and squish that down too, so it's squished on both sides. Let me do that. Okay. Hit on one side, hit on the other. See how it's oval and it's squished down on both sides there? It kind of twisted this around, but seems to be pretty sturdy. I'm going to see about drilling a hole somewhere so I could do a rosette weld, which will put a weld up here. You know, not only will I have it here, but up here too. So let me drill a hole. My camera is really acting up bad. You can see I squished it and drilled 1/4 inch holes there and on there. So these are called rosettes. I'm going to weld it up here and in the holes. So let me get to doing that next. Well, hopefully this camera will hold out. Now, while I was doing the welding, I also put these 2 wrenches together. If you look at my videos, you'll see the world's first valve lash adjuster for a Predator motor. And I have leftovers of these wrenches, so instead of throwing them away, I weld them together and put them in a toolbox. Back onto these. It's hard to see, but you can see the rosette right there and right there. I just fill all that up, and then at the top I filled all that up. I shot some primer and then the black on there. It's bubbly because it's still hot. Okay, you can see the rosette right there and right there, and I just filled all in it, and I went ahead and just hit the top up here because it looked real weak. So these 2 should be done for a lifetime. Like I said, this is galvanized. It should not rust. A point about welding on galvanized metals, have you some sort of something to blow the smoke away, because the galvanized stuff is not good for you. Not good to breathe and all like that. So that is where we're at, and that's how I made these 2 tools more permanent. I mean, there's no telling how old this is and that is, and now they're going to last a couple more lifetimes. So this is a way to make these tools last forever. And I know everybody has trouble out there with keeping handles on these. I got to let them cool. But anyhow, good video, good information here. So you guys have a good one, and we'll see you on the next video.